Today at Commander Replay, we check out this Patreon-submitted Teysa Karlov list. Can we overcome the Mull to 5 and find our way to victory? Find out next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. Also, be sure to use the TCG affiliate link in the description below when buying new cards because it helps support the channel and it doesn't cost you anything. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Teysa Karlov today. Take a look at this opener. One land. That's not going to do it. This Infernal Offering, by the way, before we get going. There was one substitution to the deck. Today's deck list comes to us from Damon, a Patreon supporter, and Vindictive Lich is not available on Magic Online, so I switched in this Infernal Offering, not because it's necessarily the best card, but it's just a fun card, so I thought I would throw it in. Fits the theme of what we're doing. Anyway, we're going to mulligan. And we mulligan into 2 lands, Cabal Coffers. This is pretty awkward. I really don't want to go to 6, but we have a 6-drop, a 6-drop, a 5-drop, no ramp. Yeah, I think we're mulligan. I think we're going to 6. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So we're going to 5. All right, what are we putting back? This kill stuff. I like that. Everything's small. Wizards aren't particularly huge. Don't really know what's going on in that deck. Can live without Elspeth. Slumlord is part of a combo. Don't really want to put the Slumlord back, so Alenda's very good in this deck. I think it's going to be a land, and I think we're just going to hope to find another land off the top. All right, found a 3rd land. Okay. Game's not over yet. Play the Concealed Courtyard. Pass the turn. Hopefully the red player wheels at some point, maybe the blue player as well. Soul Ring for the wizard opponent. Here comes a Soul Ring for the Ayara. I don't like this game at all. Huh. Nim Deathmantle. Mana Crypt. Oh, we're in trouble. Lightning Greaves. Divining Top. We draw planes, play a planes, pass the turn. Kefnet's Monument coming into play. Blue creatures cost 1 less for the wizard opponent. There's a Demonic Tutor for the Ayara. Yep. Mana Crypt flip on the Stark opponent. Here comes Starke of Rath into play. Yup. Opponent's going to put boots on it. It's got haste. They can blow up whatever creatures come into play. There's a Razaketh. Oh, we're so far away from that. I don't think it makes sense to play a creature right here. We could run Teysa out there, but, I mean, in all likelihood, it just gets shot by Stark. And I don't think that's going to do much, so I'm going to let other players mess around with the Stark for a little while, and we'll just use this as hopefully a way to slow the game down so we can draw some cards, try to get some lands into play, and try to get caught up. Take a look at the deck. 36 land deck. Here comes Naban into play. This deck is very short on ramp. Like, if you want to call these altars ramp, which, they make mana late in the game, but early in the game they don't give you much. Smothering Tithe, Pitiless Plunderer. Yeah, this deck is light on ramp. Next thing we need to look at is card draw. I don't know if we have any of that. Skull Clamp is probably the best piece of card draw in the deck. Okay. There's a Grim Haruspex and a Midnight Reaper. Those can draw cards. Here comes Riverwise Augur into play for our opponent. They get to draw 3 cards, then put 2 back, essentially Brainstorm attached to a creature. Seems pretty good. Got a Toxic Deluge in the deck. Grave Pact. Dictate. Massacre Worm. There's some removal. It's not... None of it's really traditional. It's all aristocrat-based type stuff, which we're not in a position to really use at the moment, which is not amazing. So here comes a Priest of Gix. Yep. Bet that's part of a combo. This looks like the combo. Priest of Gix with Nim Deathmantle and Ashnod's Altar. That means that they sacrifice it, get 2 mana, bring it back with the Nim Deathmantle. They get 3 mana back, and that means they're netting 1 mana every single time. Yep, here they go. Opponent may have fizzled it with the Stark right here. So the Priest mana is on the bottom. The Nim Deathmantle trigger is on top. They don't have the mana for it. Okay. I guess they'll gain control of Starke of Rath, and they could sacrifice Starke of Rath to get more mana. Oh, no. Okay, yeah. I think it's been fizzled. Well, that was quick. We almost just lost the game right there. There's Ayara. How did Nim Deathmantle go to the graveyard? Oh, artifact or creature. They shot the Nim Deathmantle. Okay. Whew. That was close. I see what's going on now. Opponent put Skull Clamp on their commander. Probably would have put it on the Stark, personally. Mana Crypt flip. Opponent goes down to 36. There's a Neheb. That's a good one. Boots on Neheb. Opponent gonna swing with the Neheb, sure. Opponent will get 4 mana back. There's an Anger for opponent. There's a Swamp. Play the Swamp. We'll cast our commander right here. I don't think Teysa is the most threatening thing in play, so I don't think it's going to get shot. Trying to play this really cool at the start here because Yeah. Here comes a Pondering Mage. Enters the battlefield. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put them back in any order. Draw a card. Ooh, whenever you cast a creature spell, target creature an opponent controls doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step, so Stark's not going to untap. And that should make it reasonably safe to try and cast some creatures as we start going around now. Here comes an Ophiomancer for opponent. Yep. Skull Clamp on the Ophiomancer. Ophiomancer trigger, Mana Crypt trigger, Inventor's Fair trigger for opponent. Neheb going to swing into the Wizard's opponent. Interesting. Wizards could just triple block. That would kill Neheb. I mean, they have enough card advantage to, like, offset that right now because of all the draw effects that they've used. But, yeah, they're going to go for it. All right. Afflict will still trigger. Essentially, you know, a play like this, because they have the most cards, they can just run opponent out of cards. And being mono-red, they're not going to draw super well. At least not in the same way that the blue deck will. So, Neheb down. Opponent gets no mana in the second main. Wish we had this Ogre Slumlord in play when all that happened. Oof. Boots on the Anger, sure. Oh, that's a Blood Moon. We have basics in play, but that does shut off our second black for the Ogre Slumlord, which I was planning to get. Here comes the Thaumatic Compass for the mono-red player. Brings it back to our turn. Another land that will turn into a mountain, so I guess we play the Plains. I guess that means we get Elenda. I know opponent wants Anger in their graveyard, so maybe we'll attack over there just to put Anger in their graveyard, which, you know, may cause problems later, but maybe we'll let someone else do it. We'll let someone else take care of that. So we'll stay put with Teysa. So Blood Moon shutting off a number of powerful lands. Phyrexian Tower in play, Strip Mine, and Reliquary Tower. And just a second black source for us, which is going to hurt a bit. Propaganda for opponent. Yep, that seems good. This means that Stark is probably going to untap, which I don't love. Opponent needs to play a blue creature. Keep the Stark tapped down. Doesn't look like they're going to do that. So Stark untaps. Yep. Skull Clamp onto the Snake. 2 Elenda triggers. Skull Clamp onto the Stark. Opponent's going to pop... Ooh, that's interesting. Opponent's going to pop the Thaumatic Compass with Stark. Does give it back to its controller, though. Can't say I'm in love with that. Skull Clamp onto the Ophiomancer. Mana Crypt and Ophiomancer triggers. Divining Top into play. Opponent's going to take a look. Opponent's going to put Boots on Stark. Yep. Take another look with Divining Top. Going to draw with Divining Top. Plays a land. Oh, that's a Black Sun Zenith. Oh, we don't have a second black source. Blood Moon. Guess we're playing Teysa. Primal Amulet for the Wizard opponent. Opponent's going to Skull Clamp the Snake. Yep. More tokens onto Elenda. Oh, it's a Thornbite Staff. That's annoying. That can kill all of our 1/1s. Opponent's going to Arcane Denial the Thornbite Staff. Cool. Opponent's going to put Skull Clamp back in the Ophiomancer. Mana Crypt, Ophiomancer, and Arcane Denial all trigger. Divining Top back to play. Ooh, Disrupt Decorum. Goad all creatures you don't control. Spicy. Teysa doesn't really have great attacks anywhere, but the other 2 should be reasonably safe. That Snake's got Death Touch, so probably looking at the Wizards. There's a Swamp. Oh my. What does that Swamp mean? We can't Black Sun Zenith because Stark could shoot Elenda with Black Sun on the stack, and then we would lose all of our tokens, and we really don't want that. However, Ogre Slumlord, on the other hand, does seem very good. So I think we'll get ourselves an Ogre Slumlord. So we'll tack into the Wizards. Oh, they have a Propaganda. That's going to force us into the Snake, then. Send Teysa into the Wizards. Elenda into the mono-black player. Teysa into the mono-black player. Go like that. Let's pay 2. Opponent going to block with the Mage, sure. Opponent's going to block the Elenda. Okay, so Teysa's the one that I really want to keep alive. Opponent's going to block the Elenda. And that, I'm actually fine with that. So, if opponent blocked the other way, I thought about using the Teysa ability. But, oh cool, opponent's just going to sacrifice the Snake. So, Elenda won't even die. It'll get more counters on it, though. They'll draw a card. Alright. This worked out fine. No one loses any life. And pass turn. Opponent will get a Snake token. Ayara will trigger. Here comes Naban back to play. Can't tap the Stark, which makes me sad. We'll tap the Ayara. That seems fine. Opponent's going to send the 3/4 our way. Yeah, we're just going to take that. That seems fine. Down to 31. We need 1 more mana for Razaketh. We need 1 more black mana specifically. Hopefully the top of our deck will bless us with a Swamp, because we also need a sack outlet for this Elenda. And if we get Razaketh into Elenda and all that resolves, then life should be pretty good. Opponent play some Boots onto the Ayara, sure. Skull Clamp onto the Snake, yep. More tokens onto Elenda. And so Alenda makes white creatures, and should Alenda die for any reason now and Teysa's still in play, we can use all that to exile a bunch of our opponent's creatures. Pretty excited about that prospect as well. Oop, here comes an Ogre Slumlord for opponent. Looks like we're going to have an Ogre Slumlord battle. And that'll trigger Ayara one time. We're down to 30. Ooh, opponent's going to pop the Primal Amulet. Okay. Primal Amulet down. Apparently they don't want any part of that. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Once Naban starts doubling spells, that's a really big issue. Ophiomancer must attack. Ooh. Opponent's out of mana, which means they can either sack something or send the Ophiomancer our way, which they're going to do. We can block with this Ogre Slumlord. We're going to get some tokens. Block the Ophiomancer. I like this. So some creatures start dying. 2 Alenda triggers, 2 Slumlord triggers, and a Slumlord trigger for opponent. Cool. Always yes on the Ogre Slumlord. So we get 2 tokens now. I'm not entirely sure they're supposed to have Death Touch, Lifelink, and Vigilance, though. Rats you control have Death Touch. Okay, got that. Lifelink. Creature tokens you control have Vigilance and Lifelink. Okay, so they should have Death Touch, Lifelink, and Vigilance. All right. I forgot that Teysa had that text on it. Brings it back to the red player's turn. Mana Crypt flip on them. There are many counters on our Alenda now. We got 10 counters. If this dies with Teysa still in play, then it's going to be crazy. That's an erratic portal coming into play. That could get us. We're tapped out. Alenda is a good target right now. Make me sad. Boots onto the Anger. Yep. Hope to untap with mana before they realize to use the erratic portal. But in all likelihood, they're probably trying to get their commander back. Gonna use it now. On the Alenda. All right, Alenda down. Still, we got some Ogre Slumlord tokens, which are reasonable. That's the Swords to Plowshares. That's interesting. Let's get Alenda back to play. Leave up mana as not to get got by the erratic portal. Any attacks that make sense? I know opponent wants that Anger in the graveyard. Opponent would just trade our rat with their rat. That doesn't seem overly profitable. Yeah, I guess we're attacking into the red player. The rats are good blockers. Send in the Slumlord. Oh, wait, they have Vigilance, of course. Let's hit the red player. We need to get rid of that Blood Moon. Blood Moon is hurting us pretty bad. Red player takes a hit, goes down to 15. Maybe we should have Swords the Stark, but I don't know. They just recast it with haste. Oh, that's a Bolas Citadel. Okay. That might be worth shooting with the Stark. I've been trying to be, like, not the threat this game. Like, I know we're behind on mana, we're behind on, like, other stuff, so, like, trying to, like, play it cool is a good idea. Someone laying down a Bolas Citadel hopefully should soak up the attention of the Stark right here. Ooh, here comes a Skeletal Vampire. There's one I haven't seen in a long time. Opponent's gonna pop the Bolas Citadel. That's good news. They'll get to make 2 1/1 bat creatures with flying, and Ayara will trigger. Ayara triggers 3 times. Red player down to 12. They're getting down there. Skull Clamp onto a bat. 2 counters on Alenda. Opponent gets a draw with Skull Clamp. Up to 8 cards. Whew. It's getting to be a bit. They have a lot of cards. Here comes Thaumatic Compass. They're on 8 lands. That'll flip over in all likelihood. Opponent can... Oh, nope. Opponent's got a Ashnod's Altar in play, so they can sacrifice to get mana against the erratic portal. Let's see if they try to take out the red player, though. They do not. Mana Crypt flip on the red player. Loses the flip down to 9. I think we can kill them now. Maybe. I actually really don't want this Stark to untap. Anger into the black player. Okay. No blocks. Opponent doesn't want to give us any tokens and stuff, so cool. Opponent's going to take a look with Divining Top. Opponent draws with the Divining Top. Here comes a Mana Vault. Here comes an Ugin. Oh my, we are about to get cleaned out. Does anything we do matter? Ugin X6. Oh man, that is so many of our things. Yeah, I mean, even if we killed that, Ugin's gonna exile, so we're better off using the Teysa ability to sacrifice some stuff. Let's exile this Ogre Slumlords. We're gonna sacrifice 3 white creatures. Our stuff's gonna be better off in the graveyard than in exile, so we'll get a bunch of Ogre Slumlord triggers, but none of this is gonna matter. Actually, the question I have is, if enough creatures come into play, it may actually kill the Ugin, although I don't think we really want that anymore. Ooh, opponent has a sack outlet. Oh, maybe we should have let all this go. No, opponent wouldn't have had enough sacks to kill our opponent. Guess use the ability? Oh, we have so many tokens. Ugin off the top. Gross. Opponent's going to sacrifice it so they get to draw, and it goes to the graveyard anyway. So a lot of things getting exiled right there. Whew. Although Ayara was starting to get a bit out of hand, we were starting to get up there too. But we've been one piece away for a while. There's an Urborg. Oh, Blood Moon is gone. All right then, let's slam this Razaketh. Commander first. We don't want Razaketh to die without getting value. Let's go Commander first. Here's a Vanquisher's Banner for the Naban. Here comes Naban back to play. It's going to tap down our Commander. You know, would have been nice to hit the Ugin, but I assume the Ayara will have something to either kill the red player or deal with the Ugin. Opponent sacrifices Fabled Passage to search for a basic land. Unfortunately, opponent has Cabal Coffers online, which I did not notice, and we played an Urborg to help them. They're going to have a lot of mana. Here comes an Arcane Signet. Opponent's going to strip mine the Cabal Coffers. Okay, that's good. They already tapped it for mana, but kind of clears things out for next turn, so they won't have absurd amounts of mana. I'm pretty sure everyone's still doing better than us, though, mana-wise. Here comes Ayara back to play. We each lose one. Boots onto the Ayara. Opponent's going to Erratic Portal the Ayara. They'll have to pay a mana. Here comes Yahenni. Yahenni is an indestructible sack outlet. Can be annoying. We do have swords for it. Also, Black Sun can deal with it. Skull Clamp onto it. Opponent send in lethal into the red player. Down they go. All right. So this will change the balance of things a little bit. Opponent still got 6 cards in hand. They've got the Skull Clamp. We'll see what they kind of tap out and do right here. Mortuary. Whenever a creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, put that card on top of your library. Oh. Brings it back to our turn. There's a Plains. Play the Plains. Play Razaketh. Swing into Ayara. Here comes a Panharmonicon for the Wizards opponent. They've got Vanquishers, Panharmonicon, and their commander in play. Eek. Void Mage enters the battlefield. You may return target creature to its owner's hand. Well, that's probably going to be Razaketh. Gonna tap down Teysa. We're still just at a point where, like, we need to buy time. This is bad from a tempo standpoint, but there's not really anything we can do about it. Hope that's going to be triple bounce. Yep, there's the Razaketh. Think we sacrifice our commander right here just to get a tutor. We're in bad need of a tutor. Sacrifice Teysa. Probably going to Black Sun Zenith anyway. So we need card draw badly. With only one tutor, Phyrexian Arena is so slow. We've lost most of our good combo pieces for any of the... Like, we need a second piece for any of the other card draw stuff. Infernal Offering is not the worst thing I've seen. Everyone's stuff's about to get bounced. Volrath isn't terrible either. Get creatures back. We have 2 creatures in our graveyard that are very high leverage. Neither opponent will actually be able to interact with Phyrexian Arena all that well, so I think I'm just going to go for that right here. Arena coming in for the mono black opponent, so they're thinking the same thing, that they need more cards, but they've been drawing way more cards than us. They're like 20 cards ahead of us at this point. Here comes Yahenni back to play. One issue right now is we don't have any blockers. Ayara will trigger. Down to 20. Didn't see what happened to the Void Mage. Skull Clamp onto Yahenni. Opponent's gonna sacrifice Yahenni. Ooh, that puts it... They draw it and put it back on top? That seems nasty. Oh my. That's gonna be a problem. Here comes Yahenni back, so opponent can do this a few more times. I think I'm gonna Swords it when they move the Skull Clamp to it. Yeah, we're gonna do that. They'll sacrifice it and then I'll put it back on top, but they won't get the card draw. Would have rather saved my swords for something else, but we're gonna lose a bunch of life right there, and that's not great. Newscraft Mob. Yep, that's a good one. So we're down to 18. Ugh. There's a Nether Trader. There's finally like a sacrifice piece for us. Let us... How much black mana? Oh, we have Urborg in play. Okay, we should have all the black mana we need. We're gonna start with Black Sun Zenith for X... X4. This will lose a counter when we cast a spell. So that should get it. Okay, yeah, that works. Yeah, right now we just need to slow down the tempo of the game and see if we can get this Phyrexian Arena to actually like give us a chance and get Razaketh back to play, all that sort of stuff. Opponent's gonna exile up to 2 creatures you control, then return those creatures to the battlefield under their owner's control. And that'll allow opponent to return both of their creatures to their hand. Buys us a little bit of tempo. It'll take them some time to recast that stuff, so maybe not the best, but that's what we got going right now. It does burn a card also. So we're down to 16 after the zombie triggers. Unfortunately, yeah, Mortuary will trigger, and both of those will just go back to the top of the library. Ooh. Yeah, Mortuary seems good. Alright, so because I hit F2, We did not get the chance to play Phyrexian Arena, so we've probably just lost the game. Here comes High Tide out of the Naban. Here's Gadwick the Wizened. Opponent's going to draw 5 cards, draw a 6 card off of the Vanquishers. Yep. Oh, here's a turnabout. Opponent taps the Ashnod's Altar. Blue player has 17 cards in hand. This might be the game. Here's a Blue Sun Zenith X9. Mana Crypt. Bunch of triggers going on the stack. Each opponent puts top 2 cards of the library into the graveyard. That'll actually mill the commander and the zombie maker there. Sigil Tracer. Tap 2 untap wizard you control. Copy target instant or sorcery spell. Choose new targets for the copy. Faded Infatuation. Create a token that's a copy of target creature you control. If it's your turn, scry 2. Opponent gonna mill us more. Reanimating Skeleton in our graveyard. We can actually pull that one out. Generous Gift gone. That is, I believe, the only piece of enchantment removal in this deck. There's a Bloodghast. If we get a land, that one will come in for free. Also assumes that we're going to get another turn, and I'm not entirely sure that we are. Zulaport into the yard. Sadistic Hypnotist, Ayara into the graveyard. Comes Mana Vault, Seagate Oracle, more triggers. And opponent finally runs out of gas. 25 cards in hand, no max hand size. That'll bring it to the Ayara's turn. See what they got. A board wipe would cause like pretty significant tempo loss. But in 25 cards, if the blue player has any free counter spells, they probably have one. Here comes Ayara back to play. Lose a life. Here comes an Army of the Damned. Oh boy. This will more or less kill us. Yeah, then if they have any black mana left, yeah, then they can just... Okay, yeah, and they can just do it again. Sacrifice the tokens, get the mana, and then recast it. Yep. So, Phyrexian Arena play, don't even think it's going to matter. Yep, and there they go. They cast it with the flashback after sacrificing some tokens, and that will be the game. So down we go. Ayara winning the match. So the problems of this deck became apparent. Number 1, there's not nearly enough mana ramp in this deck. I'm not counting altar pieces as mana ramp. It's essentially a combo just to get them to produce mana. And while that's good, especially later in the game, once you're set up, early in the game and in the mid-game, when you need to produce extra mana, you cannot, which means that this deck has 5 pieces of ramp, which is not nearly enough. Six if you count the black market. Black market will give you mana every turn without having to blow your stuff up. You know, so the deck needs way more ramp. Going for the classics right here. Worn Power Stone, Thran Dynamo, go Hedron Archive, you can go Gilded Lotus if you want, whatever floats your boat. I'd probably add a Burnish Heart, honestly. I know we're crowded on 3 drops. Some Lacum's already in there. I would probably go Burnished Heart and a Merry Shepherd, but we can skip those for the sake of right now. So that gives us a little bit more ramp. Next, we need more removal. There are exactly 2 cards in the deck that deal with artifacts and enchantments. That's going to be Anguished Unmaking and Generous Gift. You need significantly more than that. Let's add an Austere Command. You have 2 choices. You can either go the Austere Command route. I always run Austere Command because you just always need an Austere Command. So let's add an Austere Command. Then I'm going to add a Return to Dust. I added this Infernal Offering. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to add a Moonlight Bargain. This deck needs more card draw that is not Skull Clamp or Aristocrat based. Like, sometimes you just need to look at more cards. That was a thing we were trying to do, and we weren't really able to do that. I really don't care for Phyrexian Arena. Let's say a game goes 8 turns. If you draw Phyrexian Arena on turn 6, it's useless. At that point, you're really better off with Ambition's Cost or something like that. So add an Ambition's Cost. Phyrexian Arena is really only good when you play it early in the game, or if the game goes very long, like more than 10 turns. And many games do not these days. So yeah, it was just apparent throughout the game. And I know we had to mulligan at the start, and that put us a couple cards behind. But, I mean, sometimes you will have to mulligan. That's just a thing that happens. And there was no card draw in the deck to be able to catch us back up if that happens, without having, like, a combo of something plus Skull Clamp. And there's no Vampiric Tutor in the deck. There is a Demonic Tutor. Diabolic Intent, it does require a creature gets sacrificed. So, I mean, you gotta have a piece to sacrifice. And, like, we just didn't have one, so... You know, that was all frustrating. We're up to 104 now. A lot of 3 drops in the deck. Let's see if we can cut any 3 drops. Ayara seems okay. Fanatical Devotion is basically just a sack outlet. Regenerate, I mean, every once in a while it's useful, but, like... Here's the things that Regenerate doesn't protect you from. Ugin, Toxic Deluge, Cyclonic Rift, Fleshbag Marauder. You know, there are a lot of effects that Regenerate does not protect you from. Sure, it'll save you from a Blasphemous Act and a Whiteboard Wipe periodically. I guess let's put all our sack outlets in one spot. Just see what we're looking at. Get rid of Fanatical Devotion. It's not worth it. This is Buried Alive in the deck. Obviously, that gets all of the Reassembling Skeleton and Bloodghast friends. So here's the 2 altars. Those are sack outlets. Yahenni is a sack outlet. Is that it on sack outlets? Here's a sack outlet. So we're at 103 right now. We need to cut some stuff. There's only 4 sack outlets in the deck that I'm seeing. Okay, there's a 5th one. 5th sack outlet. Yawgmoth is a sack outlet. You got to be careful with that one though because of the life loss, but is good in general. Okay, things we can get rid of. Get rid of this Brought Back. Brought Back is fine. It's okay. But, you know, once their things were in the graveyard, there isn't a lot of ways to pull them out in this deck, which is a problem. Cutting for this deck is always difficult. So the thing to think about, too, is that, like, Teysa cares a lot about tokens, and a lot of these cards make tokens, so, like, you don't get as much benefit off of things that don't care about tokens, like Midnight Reaper. So, like, I mean, that's one that you could potentially cut. It's still a decent Aristocrat card. If you're sacrificing Bloodghast and things like that, it's going to be good, but... Circonad is interesting. You know, it's a redundant effect with Blood Artist and things like that, but it is 5 mana, which is a lot for that type of effect. But if you have a lot of mana late in the game, or I guess if you go infinite, you could add the infinite combo also, which is what's the name of that card? Is it? You might want to think about the Darkest Hour combo with Teysa. Like we were just about there. So that's certainly one that you could add. I have mixed feelings on Ayara. 1 triple black is not the best for this deck. Like the land base isn't really up to that. Also, it cares about entering, not about dying, so you're not going to get double triggers there. Like, it's close, and it's not, like, a bad card in the deck, but we need to make room for just, like, other effects, and I think we can cut it, honestly. I'm going to cut Sifter of Skulls. It's redundant with a lot of other things and doesn't trigger off tokens, so I think it's just a little bit less good than everything else. I'm going to cut the Darkest Hour combo just to get down to 100. I'm going to cut Sangromancer. I know it's a good card, but it typically works best when you fire off a board wipe. There's not that many board wipes in this deck, although there is Grave Pact effects. It can gain you tons and tons of life, but you can also get life back on Zulaport, Cutthroat, and all of those sort of things, so I don't think it's as needed, so we'll cut that. That gives us a bit more ramp and a bit more removal in the deck. It should play much, much better like that. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.